When people's love tank runs low, they will do what it takes to fill it.
Dr. Tony Evans says we need to be careful where we seek affirmation.
Folks will compliment you to pull you over to their side. What Jesus said in heaven's viewpoint is the only one that counts.
This is The Alternative with Dr. Tony Evans, author, speaker, senior pastor of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship in Dallas, Texas, and president of the Urban Alternative. There's an old song about people who need people being lucky. Dr. Evans says it's possible to need people too much. Today, he explains how to satisfy our craving for approval and acceptance in a healthier way. Let's jump.
In Galatians 1, verse 10, Paul says about these well-meaning Bible quote-unquote folk who are ripping the saints away from grace. For am I now seeking the favor of men or of God? Or am I striving to please men? If I were trying to please men, I would not be a bondservant of Christ. I hope you hear what he said. He is saying it is possible in your life to be more people-oriented than God-oriented. Paul says it the same way elsewhere. He says in 1 Thessalonians 1:11 that our primary goal is not to please people, but to please God. The author of Proverbs says it another way. In Proverbs 29:25, he says, the fear of men is a snare, a trap. He who trusts the Lord. There was a man, one day he was sitting on a bank, kind of just meditating, and he heard somebody screaming, help, help, from the river. He was an excellent swimmer. He saw the man drowning. He dove in. He got the man, brought him to shore. As soon as he got to shore, he heard him again, help, help. There was another man drowning over there. He jumped in, he swam, brought him to shore. As soon as he brought him to shore, help, help. There's another man over there. He swam out, grabbed him, brought him to shore. Help, help. It went on and on, 5 and 6 and 7. He brought to shore. He was totally exhausted trying to bring folk to shore. He had no energy left. And yet there were still people out there saying, help, help. And he couldn't help them anymore. He was just get up and go and gotten up and gone. He looked up to heaven and said, oh God, please show me what's happening upstream. We try to deliver people without ever finding out what's going on up there. What's going up back there that you can't see that's causing them to cry for help right now? Something's going on upstream. And you can't help everybody. So let's find out what's upstream. Because maybe that will give us peace downstream. Upstream, let's really start this children. Upstream. Because God births children into families where they're to find love, acceptance, value. That's what families are supposed to do. They are the first line of defense for the well-being of life. And children let you know real early upstream when they're not getting the deal they think they deserve. They'll show off so you pay them attention. They'll throw a temper tantrum so they get some value and somebody paying them attention. As they get into the teenage years, if there is a vacuum in the family, they'll seek to fulfill it in peers, their friends. When children are overly ignored or ridiculed or even indulged, they will get a warped sense of their own value. You see a child who gets everything they want? I'll show you a child who establishes value by what they get and what they don't get as they grow older. if it will give them a sense of significance. If somebody's piping into their ear, you're special, you're nice, you are somebody, you're great, then they will hang out with that group so they can hear it more. And often become dependent upon it, frustrated when they're not with the group because they're not hearing it enough. When people's love tank runs low and they are driven by a need for acceptance, they will do what it takes to fill it. When they feel rejected by somebody, they will go to somebody else for acceptance. You see, Satan uses our legitimate need for acceptance in an illegitimate way to produce codependency, so that we walk around with fake IDs. We even come to church with our fake IDs. Our fake ID smiles. Our fake ID Christian verbalisms. Even our fake ID Bibles. Our fake ID praise the Lord's. Our fake ID, how you doing today, brother? I'm great. Isn't God good? And if they can't find the right group, if they can't find the right person or people who they can depend on, who they can either use and control or be controlled by, if they can't find that, then what they will do is ID themselves. They will become self-absorbed. It's like the man and the donkey. Man and the donkey, the old man and the young boy were taking a donkey. So the young man and the old man would go walk the donkey, and somebody saw him and said, look at that race. The old man and the boy are walking with the donkey and not using the donkey for what the donkey was created. The old man thought to himself, you got a point there. So the old man got up on the donkey, rode the donkey, while the young boy led the donkey. Somebody else said, look at that. That old man making that boy walk while he rides the donkey. The man was point there. So they switched. The young boy got up on the donkey, old man was leading. They came by, somebody, look at that. That boy making that old man walk while he rides and he's young and strong. Got a point there. Next person saw him, the donkey was riding the old man's back. You try to please everybody, you're going to stop right with the man. But some folk who are in the stronghold, everybody tries to please people down, but the stronghold is being caught. You're caught. Somebody says something to you that's a little off, you can't sleep at night. Unless you're around people and they are pumping you and making you feel good at night, you feel bad about this. People go through great extremes. They will pay out a lot of money to get a compliment. They will become a groupie around the stars to get an autograph. They want to be able to say, yeah, I know him. They didn't meet him but for 30 seconds, but I know him. And that's about me being somebody. Because I know that. 1 out of every 3 women in this country are abused. Physically or verbally or emotionally over a long period of time. That produces a scar in their soul. So many of them will overcompensate with dress.